Kentucky. It's a group that, defensively plays extremely well. You just look at them statistically, defensively, we got to do a good job. Follow our formations, motions, and control the line of scrimmage. Quarterback run game being a part of that as well. And for our special teams, they got a dynamic returner that can change the game. They got to do a great job there. So open it up.
Austin.
Does it help the fact that a few weeks ago with Florida, you were kind of preparing for two quarterbacks, and obviously they played two, Saturday night that are different top players. Does that help when your kids have seen something similar just a few weeks ago?
Well, I think defensively, you always got to know who the number two is and have a plan for him. It can be through injury or them playing multiple guys. Your defense players need to understand, what type of player that is. Certainly for them, quarterback running game is always a part of it. Second half of last week, played the younger kid, and for us, we got to do a great job of controlling the quarterback running game. That's a huge part of it, and understanding, this game, there's limited opportunities, and I'm just talking about possessions during the course of the game. All three phases got to play that well together. For us, within the scope of what we're doing schematically, play assignment sound, rally, go make tackles in space, and certainly score that run game. Your eyes, your keys, got to take you to make those plays.
Rob and Vince.
Coach, I know today that you guys were looking at a ton of stuff. Did you find any common denominators for the first half after the slow starts in the SEC game?
There's not just one thing. You look a week ago against Alabama, turnovers, on a couple of possessions, missed field goals, execution, taking sacks in the red zone. It's a combination of all of us being a little bit better, coaches and players together.
There was a couple of weeks where teams were showing you different looks defensively and changing the structure. How much at this point in the season are you still seeing teams do things differently than what they've shown on tape prior to?
There's always subtle changes in every football game. For a couple of weeks there, it was a little more dramatic than usual. Young quarterback having an opportunity to see things throughout. You hear me say it, like he's going to get better with every rep that he takes. Our players having a better understanding of some of that. Puts us in a better position to be successful.
Josh, the first playoff rankings come out after this game. You guys are in a logjam with a lot of teams under consideration. People decide that. How do you make your case to those people that decide whether or not you guys are a playoff team?
Yeah, you make a case by controlling what you control, which is your performance on Saturdays. Your preparation takes you there. We're halfway through the conference schedule. There's a ton of football. If you're worried about the end result, you're going to make the mistakes you can't afford on the way to the end. And for us, being present, being now, preparing in a great way, continuing to grow as a football team. Yes, you can say it. Other teams say it. Good teams continue to get better. Our best football is still out in front of us. We're going to adjust that.
You played a lot of offenses that have been playing a lot of multiple tight end stuff. You guys have played the more traditional, 4-3 or 3 linebacker groups instead of as much NFL. What do you like about that trio of linebackers, and why do you guys sort of gravitate towards that against multiple tight ends?
There's a lot of different reasons that you can get into your base personnel, and that's what you're facing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, their skill set, how you want to defend the run game, and what you want to play out on the perimeter. We've worked that all through the course of spring ball and training camp, having the flexibility and the opportunity to play different personnel groupings to those personnels that we're seeing from the other side of the football, and they've trained that way and have executed really well in it.
I'm sure it's never perfect, but just how high of a level do you think Jermon McCoy is playing for you right now?
Yeah, it is never perfect. You're chasing it every day, but He's playing really good football, playing with great discipline at the line of scrimmage, and his press technique. He's got the athletic traits to recover when it's not perfect at the line of scrimmage. He's doing a great job of playing the 50-50 ball, back shoulder fades or vertically all the way down the football field. That comes from his maturity, his fundamentals and technique, and, competitive composure at the end of the play.
Going off of that, what has allowed your mod to have this, transition just so early on and be making this big of an impact?
I think it just starts with his maturity as a person. Coming out of high school, what he did before he got on the field in 3 months at the previous stop, changing his body. A guy that, was recruited to play some wide receiver, flips over to the other side of the football. He's a sponge as far as soaking up information inside the meeting room. Extremely bright. It's not like you're restarting every single day. He's able to grow upon what happened the previous day on the field or in the meeting room, incorporate those things into his game. He's got all the athletic traits that you want. But again, his maturity is a huge factor in why he's playing the way that he is.
I'm curious, when you have a second open date like this, I know you go to get better every day and guys are improving every day, but can a young guy or someone who's not played a lot really make hay, so to speak, during an open date and really change kind of the course of how much he can help you? Or at this point in the season, is that a little bit unfair, unrealistic?
No, I made the point to our football team the Monday after, the last football game that how you prepare, it's not just during bye week, how you practice. Like, you keep the immediate gratification result doesn't come after one practice. Like, you just keep stacking days and good things inevitably happen. And there's great examples of that, on our football team during the course of the season. And so every player, not just young players, continuing to invest and improve is really critical. And you start showcasing those things, being consistent on the practice field, and it will translate over to game day, and that's the challenge for all of us.
Rob.
Sticking with that one, Mike Matthews, is that a guy that is building towards maybe a bigger role on the back end of the season?
Yeah, Mike's gotten some opportunities. Feel like there's a greater opportunity for execution at times when he's out there. Some of that's the guys around him. Some of that's him too. We need him to continue to come on and be a big part of what we're doing here, on the back half of this conference season.
Where are you at in terms of competition on the offensive line? Are there any young players that are threatening for playing time or made enough improvements to where they could be trusted in games?
Want to see those guys continue to improve, and that's in our team setting. Some of it's in pass rush against defensive line. Those guys are in a race to be ready to play.
You guys have played a lot of guys on the defensive line really throughout your tenure. Even this year, you guys are going 10, 12 deep in games. How do you get kind of a buy-in from a group like that to maybe those guys would probably like to play more individually, but collectively it's benefiting them and the team? How have you guys gotten that sort of buy-in to where they kind of accept that and it's working for you guys?
Well, I think it comes from them being connected in the meeting room, understanding those guys are playing at a high level, how playing multiple guys makes us better later in the football game and throughout the course of the season. And when teammates recognize that guys are ready to play, they understand that they've earned the right to go out there and play. And at the end of the day, it's made our defensive line and our defensive unit stronger.
Josh, I guess pretty much anytime you play an SEC team, you're going to see some guys up front that give you problems. But with Walker for Kentucky, how many problems does that guy present with sort of his size and athleticism?
Yeah, your original statement is true. Like, it's, the difference in this league and everywhere else around the country. You're going to see elite players with great physical traits and athleticism. He's a guy that is a dominant player. As they move him around in his front, he's able to play within their scheme extremely well. Uses his hands, He's physical. He's active, disruptive. He's a really good football player. But their D-line in general, has great size and plays extremely well with pad level.
What have you seen from Kentucky's second and third level with guys like Derek Jackson when it comes to impacting your all's pass game?
Yeah, they got length, athleticism. They'll play multiple fronts, 3, 4 down, drop 8 at time. They play with great discipline, pattern reading and causing issues with windows. And, we got to do a great job of recognizing their rotations, feeling the underneath coverage, and, getting to the right spot at the right time with the ball.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day.